2026년 4월 12일 일요일 오전 8시 20분입니다. 강연 TV를 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 이번 시간은 구약성경 열왕기하 6장 1절부터 영어 성경으로 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, Behold, now the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take tents, every man a beam, and let us make us a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, Go ye. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them, and when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, the axe head fell into the water, and he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. And the man of God said, Where fell it? And he showed him the place, and he cut down a stick and cast it in cedar, and the iron did swim. Therefore said he, Take it up to thee, and he put out his hand and took it. Then the king of Syria were lead against Israel, and took counsel with his servants, saying, In such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for cedar to 3 ounces come down. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him, and warned him over, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore, the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not shew me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha the prophet that is in Israel tells the king of Israel the words that to be kissed in thy bedchamber. And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he cedar horses and carriers and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servants of the man of God was liaison only, and can force build an host compassed the city both with horses and carry also. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us more than they that be with them. And Elisa paid and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisa. And when they came down to him, Elisa prayed unto the Lord and said, Smite these people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Israel, to the word of Elisa. And Elisa said unto them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom ye seek. But he led them to Samaria. And it came to pass when they were come into Samaria that Elisa said, Lord, open the eyes about this man that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. And the king of Israel said unto Elisa, when he saw them, My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, Thou shalt not smite them. Wouldst to smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow. Separate and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them, and when they had eaten and drink, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bandits of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until on Esezer head was sold for 4 pieces of silver, and the poorest part of a cup of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the born flow or out of the wine press. And the king said unto her, What ill song thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she has hid her son. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he lent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. Then he said, "God to so and more also to me, if the head of Elisa, the son of Sabet, shall stand on him this day." But Elisa sat in his house, and the elders sat with him, and the king sent a man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, "See how this son of the murderer has sent to take away my head. Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him?" And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, "Behold, this evil is abroad. What should I wait for the Lord any longer?" Then Elisa said, "Here is the word of the Lord. Says the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of a fine flour be sold for a shekel, and two machine and two measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria." Then Herod, on whose hand the king leaned, answered the man of God and said, "Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be?" And he said, "Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And there we are for leprous men at entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, "Why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then the mine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come and let us pour unto the host of the city answer. If they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall but die." And they rose up in the twilight to go into the camp of the city. And when we are come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. For the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear noise of chariots, and the noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, "Lord, the King of Israel has hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. Wherefore they arose and parade in the twilight, and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and prayed for their fire. And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent and did eat and drink, and carried tens silver and gold and raiment, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent and carried tents also, and went and hid it. Then they said one to another, we do not well. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning, right, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore come, that we may go and tear the king's household. So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, we came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of man, but horses tied, and asses tied, and the tents as they were. And he called the porters, and they told it to the king's house within. And the king rose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry, therefore are they gone out about the camp of hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of the Israelites that are consumed. And let us send and see. They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of 3 answers, saying, go and see. And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the 3 had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king. And the people went out and spoiled the tents of the 3. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. And the king appointed the Lord, on whose hand he reigned, to have the charge of the gate, and the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. And it came to pass, as the man of God had spoken to the king, saying, to measure of a barley for a shekel, and a measure of a fine flour for a shekel shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. And that Lord answered the man of God and said, now, behold, if the Lord should make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And he said, behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And so it fell out unto him, for the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died. 열왕기하 7장 20절까지 읽어봤습니다. 시간 관계상 여기서 정리하고 저녁에 열왕기하 8장부터 계속해서 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 안녕히 계십시오.